you did something that most of the startups do in Shenzhen, in
Yeah.
China, like DJI did it, Anker did it. It's always America first. So
Yeah.
they do the 北美市场, like the North American market first. Why is it that most of the companies do it, and why did you do it?
I think for the American or the abroad, except the China, I think they very respect to the branding and for the innovation. So, but sometimes in China, some companies will just copy your ideas and do a lot of things. So for we go abroad, there are people who is the original people of these ideas. So they respect it. Yeah. So I think the legals is always more nice to the startups. Yeah, conception. So we choose this one. So for our safety and for the branding.
You are a very interesting guy because you made a very bold bet. You took 2 million RMB as a loan to start a new generation of Tamagotchi.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I just thought about Tamagotchi. I think Tamagotchi is around 30 years old or something.
More or less, I remember when I was really, really small, like a kid, that I always wanted to have a Tamagotchi.
Yeah, it is.
So when was the first time you heard about Tamagotchi?
Actually, it's last a year. Actually, yeah, because before we do this product, I have no lies about the Tamagotchi. I know more about the Chinese virtual pets such as QQ pet, like this kind of stuff. And but when we do this product and we want to do a pet reading robot, the robot which have the pet reading gameplay, and we saw in the outboard, in all the countries such as Japan, America, and Europe, there are a lot of people loves Tamagotchi, and Tamagotchi is all similar to the gameplay, and think, oh, nice, it's very feasible for our product. So I think AI Tamagotchi is very it's a good description with our product. So we choose this name, and then just like this.
So you only found out about Tamagotchi when you did the market research of similar products?
Actually, yes, but when we making this product, and we find we find a lot of the inspiration from the Tamagotchi. So we learn some from the Tamagotchi also.
For the marketing, it's better to say AI Tamagotchi, right? Because everyone knows Tamagotchi.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because the tons of millions people know Tamagotchi. And we are doing the AI robotics. Yeah, but the Tamagotchi is all the virtual. Yeah, we are doing bring it to the physical life and give the physical body and give the AI abilities. So it's very better to understand. Yeah.
So you come from a robotics background, right?
Yeah, it is.
So you planned originally to do a PhD in robotics, but then you dropped out of your college or gaozhong, or what did you?
Actually, it's postgraduate.
So from university. To start your own company.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
How was it to tell it to your parents? Because Chinese parents, they are really focused on education, right?
Yeah, it is. But I think my parents is also run a startup and run a company, so they can understand. You get the risk. In this kind of things, but it's accessible. Yeah.
So they would support you.
Yeah, they support me at first. Yeah.
So how did you have the idea to start to do a startup in the AI Tamagotchi industry?
It's a long story. I think it started the end of the 2023. Yeah. Actually, at that time, I was be a research intern in the army in the multimodal language models at that time, and we saw a trend and such as GBT and Gemini. And at that time, the Gemini released videos about multimodal interactions with people, which is drawing, and the AI will see all the pictures and what you are drawing right now, and to chat with you and to give you some inspiration. That was amazing. At that time, I just thought, wow, it's fantastic, and it will change a lot. And this multimodal technologies will change all the interaction patterns of between the hardwares and people. So at that time, I just saw this trend. And secondly, I saw the AI pin. Do you guys know AI pin? Yeah, it's at that time it's also the famous product, and I thought, wow, that's so cool. So
AI pen.
AI pin, PIN. AI pin.
What is it?
What is it?
It's a Apple designer. He just go out to design design the hardware.
I think I heard about it, but I heard the name. So what does this pin do?
It can recognize. It has a camera and have microphone, and it can recognize everything and give you the feedback. And he want to replace the iPhone.
Okay,
like that.
Oh,
you use this one.
Is it a little bit? Do you know Loki?
Oh yeah.
They also do this camera which records.
It's kind of similar hardware, but they are different definition.
Okay. And then you saw it, and then you said, I have to do something on my own.
I have to do something on my own. And I furthermore, I think the emotional intelligence is more probably to success. So I choose emotional intelligence, but not the efficiency intelligence, because a lot of the companies and peoples and the big companies such as Google, OpenAI, they do like the efficiency, the hardware, such as pins or something can record and to recognize and give you some efficiency lifting. And for the emotional intelligence, there are no companies do it well before, so it have a lot of opportunities for the startup. So I'll choose this chance to do this area, but now the efficiency.
So the trends from the interaction with what you're doing would actually lead into like more emotional research that you did, or how did you come up with this?
Actually, I didn't do a lot of the research, but actually for my own, I think the emotional intelligence is a naturally demand of all the human. So I think it's very naturally things. But in the before, the technologies cannot do it well. But after the ChatGPT, the first time people knows, oh my God, the AI can simulate the human beings. That was crazy. So I think this is a very important time for this technology, and all the products will come out. I
heard more and more people, they use ChatGPT just to talk to someone, to have some more like interaction rather than going to like therapy, right?
It is.
And it's not because they don't want to go to therapy, but for if you are in Europe or in Germany, for example, to go to a therapist, it takes a lot of time and a lot of money. It's very hard to get a spot. So it can help you with it. And I think it's the same for you. Raising a normal pet, like I have a dog, and when I come here to Shenzhen from Shanghai, I have to give it to someone to take care of it, right? But this is, you can just take it with you.
It is.
And it's easy to take it on the airplane.
Sure. I take the airplanes, between the China and the US, and take it all the time. It's very convenient. Nobody will charge anything.
And also, so we also see a pattern here a lot of times that a lot of founders we interview, they have this idea, they think it's a good thing because they have some observations from their daily life. As you said, you think, okay, people are very interested in having emotional contact, and then they start doing this product, and then they do the market research. It's not that they do a lot of market research before, right?
Actually, at first it's not, but after start the project, and we do a lot of search, step by step,
So how big is the market?
Actually, it's pretty big. Maybe I think the tons of trillions, like that.
Okay.
Yeah, for the emotional intelligence and the robotics.
Okay.
The combination. And the new area. I think in the future a lot of the products will appears.
Yeah, but like, what is the actual market? Is it more digital companion market, or is it emotional support? What is the numbers that you look at? The market that you're in, is it more digital companions, or like you said, the market is very big, but what market are we addressing here?
Actually, I think it's more about the digital company, but the physically digital company.
So hardware.
Hardware. Hardware is
Okay.
important because the software is very just universal. You can not touch it and feel the temperature and all the feeling. It's totally different.
Yeah. And before you did your own startup, you worked for Unitree, right?
Yeah.
You worked for SenseTime, you worked for Shanghai Lab. What did you learn there? Did this help you for your startup journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very interesting experience for my, the before. At first, I just before the Unitree, I just also have the startup team, and we are doing the robots that can to plant the trees in the desert. I make for 3 years of that robot, and after that I go to Unitree to do a robot dog. It can just get the blind people to go out go out in the cities, do like that project. After that I go to the SenseTime and the AI Lab, Shanghai AI Lab for the further research of the autonomous driving and the multimodal language model. But after that I just saw the trend and go out, and I think it's pretty important for all the choice I have made, because why I choose a startup company about the AI and the robotics. All the befores I get a lot of knowledge and experience and how to build a real robot and how to combine the AI technologies into a robot. That's benefit a lot.
So how is it like to work in a big company like Unitree?
Actually, when I was working in Unitree, it's not a big company.
So when was it?
2021.
Oh,
so
they got very famous with last year's Chinese New Year
festival,
it is. Right?
It is.
The robots are dancing during Chongwan.
It is.
Yeah. So how was it in 2021? How big were they?
Actually, for all the technology people, it's less than 100, so it's still small. So at that time, I just think that was pretty interesting company, and I want to go there to be an internship and to do some independent project. I'm the project leader, so do this project on my own. So I think it's pretty interesting.
So you were the project leader during your internship.
Sure.
Wow.
Because it's a
lot of responsibility.
It's an independent project, so I just be a leader. Almost the work is do by my own.
So it's a startup inside a startup.
You can see that.
Oh, that's
and what was your project about?
The blind get robotics dog.
Okay. For the blind people.
Blind people.
But then the shift happened, as you said. This is also very efficient, like solving problems of blind people, solving problems of planting trees in the desert. And then you said, okay, now I want to do emotional AI. Right? What is the biggest difference between doing this kind of hardware, very efficient AI hardware, or the emotional hardware?
Actually, I think it's pretty different because at the start of the this startup, and we just also think we need to find some problems, and we need to solve the problems. So at first we not do it well, and this is AI Tamagotchi is not the first product. It's just second. Before that we have maybe it's a product is not success.
Which product was it?
It's just like it's also robots, but it can just emotional talk with you. And it has a 4G, and you can take it anywhere and talk with it. But it's almost for the kid. Yeah. So why we do this? Because before we just thought we need to solve some problems. Because at first we think the emotional intelligence need to arm to the emotional companion this problem. So we think, okay, which people need the companion?
Yeah.
I think the kid is the most. So because in China, a lot of parents are working a lot and they can't have too much time to accompany their kids, so we just do this product. But after that, the result is very bad of this product, and we crashed at that time, and we don't know what to do, because in the 2020, the end of the 2024, and we do 200 product and give the users to have tests, but
they all hate it.
Yeah, not hated, but for over the 30 days, just one people are using. So you cannot to make it the product and go to the market, because nobody want to use it for long term.
Yeah.
So the product is loose. So at that time we are just confused how we to do and what we should to do. And at that time we are confused. And at that time we just learn a cross. Yeah, the cross is about the gamification, gamification design. And after we learn that cross, and we learn more important things, that does the game slow the problems?
Solve the problems.
Does the game slow the problem? My answer is no. It not slow the problem, but it create a new experience. Because such as the gun game, you cannot play the gun.
It keeps you doing, right?
You cannot to play the gun in the real life, but you can play it in the virtual world. So this is a kind of a new experience for the people, who cannot to get this kind of feeling in the real life. So you can get this feeling in the virtual life. So this is why the game is very can make a lot of the values. So after that, we just think, okay, we don't need to focus on some problems. We can also to focus on some experience. So at that time, we just think, okay, we want to do some experience that can, that we can, for the teammates, we are really love to do, such as pet. The reading pet is the hobbies, and all we love to do it. So we want to do, okay, pet reading game with robotics, how we to compare these two things, and the AI. And after that, we just to explore this feeling fields.
So let's go back to the evening or the day when you gave out 200 of this first product to people, and just one of them used it. And when you get this feedback, how did you feel at that time, at that day?
I feel very disappointed. Because I don't know what to do. I spent a year to this product, but nobody want to use this product. That was pretty big. I don't know what to say.
Backlash.
For me. So I think at that time I just almost crashed. And I don't know what to do.
And you have like $300,000 debt, right? 2 million RMB.
At that time, I didn't to take that money right at that time. Because that product I think is now very good, so I don't have the confidence also to take the monies.
But how did you then create or develop the prototype, or even the real product? Like how much time? You said it took 1 year.
Actually, the true time is about half a year, and to make the 200 product.
So why did you decide to pivot, to change a new product, and why did you not say, I will go back to university and do something stable?
I think get a startup is kind of the lifestyle. I think this is very interesting, and which I want to spend all my time on it. Because when I be an intern, no matter in the research center or the lab or the university, I think sometimes you cannot to focus on the real things you are really love, and you cannot to release your all the
Yeah.
potentials, because I think I'm a comprehensive people. It's not just not a research for the little area and just
Yeah.
go ahead. So I think the people who want to and who have potential to get a big company and a big business and to get a big thing. So I think I'm the people. So I just choose what I should to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that-
you
that's
just
great.
knew that you were made for being a startup. Startupper for the rest of your life.
Yeah, sure.
And then you were disappointed. You didn't sleep for one night and you cried maybe in your pillow, right? But then you said, okay, we have to go on. Life is going on. Nobody's waiting for me.
Yeah.
Then how do you start again? You talked to your team and said, okay, this product is done. It's past. We don't do the robot anymore. We want to do something new. How do you start from zero again?
At that time, all the team are disappointed, not just me. And at the time, nobody knows where to go. And at that time, the first step, we just think, okay, this product is not very real, but we need to find out why this product is not good and to solve the problem and has to improve it. So at first, we just keep this product and to try to figure out why people don't like it. And the second step is to, this product is not good, so we need to start a new one. But at that time, we don't have too much ideas, so we need to also explore the new areas and the new ideas. At that time, we just start new with all my teammates. We take together and take part in all the explanation and the research. After maybe for the 1 or 2 months, so research and the brainstorms and all these things, and at that time we just get a little bit of direction about the path raising and the robotics and AI, because at the start of the company, I want to do the emotional AI and the robotics, and these three things is still the same, but it's more directory to the pet.
So and then you were in Shenzhen already at that time?
Yeah, sure.
And then you have the new idea, and then what's the next step? Then you find an industrial designer who designs the pet for you, or you do it your own? What is the next step?
The first step is in the March of the 2025, and at first we just do our team own, and actually our design abilities is limited, and we do one versions, and after that we just to find more the top company and to give our more fancy design for the industry design, and we find a 伙伴.
A partner.
The partner to get to make the industry design to get out. For this product, we just do have the design partner in the April, and after from the April and for the June, all the design was done.
So the product that you did before, is it somehow related to your new product now? What kind of learnings from the old product did you take for the new one?
The most important thing is, I think the product is not only to solve the problem. I think that before I just think, okay, solve problem is most important and only important way to design and to make a product. But after that, I don't think so. I don't think there is another life. Another is to do experience. But experience, you need to you at first you need to be experienced people, and you will know how the feelings the experience will bring to you, and then you can make it.
These are the learnings that you took from, I don't know, the failure of your past project. After you failed with the first product, you spent 2 months, right, in order to understand what was actually a problem, right? And this shaped basically what you do today.
For the specific, I find the AI chat is not an important way or the top reasons that people will use this product. The AI chat, emotional AI chat, is not strong that people can use this a lot. So we don't, as for our product, we don't to put the AI chat at the first selling point. Yeah, but all the first selling point is about the game. Yeah, the gamification. Yeah, because it got the deeper and step by steps the goals, and you can just keep moving and keep using the product and give you more the exciting experience. Yeah, that's what we want, and this can really make the people who can to use this product long term. Yeah.
So as you said, your first product was made for solving a problem. So you wanted to solve a problem with the first product.
Yeah.
Then for the second one, you said your learning was that you don't necessarily have to solve a problem. You can also provide an experience to the users.
It is.
But are there any learnings, anything you learned from the first product that you also can use for the second one? For example, how to design a product, how to do the hardware in Shenzhen?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, through this, the first product is not good, and we throw it. But about all the experience we got, such as how to make hardware and all the technologies, we made during the first product time, and we learn a lot from that. Yeah.
So it's not just totally starting from zero, because you have the experience. You have the contacts, you know how to build hardware, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So show us your product. We have it here. It's very cute. Like when we saw it in the beginning, the sound engineer says it looks a little bit like the iPhone earphone case.
Oh, it is. Yeah. A lot of people say that because it's such a size that they can just put it on. Yeah.
Open.
Yeah.
So this is, but for you say it's more like an egg, right?
Yeah. It's like an egg, and you need to
it has 2 ears.
Yeah, raise it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it will hatching up, and now it's in the egg. So all the people got this at first got this product, they will hatching it. Yeah.
So this is the first step. You have to pat it.
Yeah, pat it and to make it to hatching.
Yeah. So
make it feel comfortable, and then it will hatch.
Yeah. It need time.
So how did you come up with this shape? How did you say, okay, we want to make it like this and not like round, or why does it have ears and not legs or arms? How is the process? Do you have like 10 or 15 different shapes you want to do, or?
At first, actually, we just think a lot, and at first we think it have to move. It have to have some motor to make it to growth. Yeah, this is most important. But at that time we also don't know it's all the from left to right or left to top.
So it has to have some kind of movement.
Yeah. But the designer we just talk all the ideas and what we want. We want it to be a real life. The life feeling is very important, and secondly, I want to this one can very be soft and be warm. The three is like a real pad and a digital pad. That's what's important. So we just give all the ideas to the designer, and they give the this design, and we choose this one.
This looks also quite like Tamagotchi, right? Is this like the inspiration that you took from it?
Yeah, it's quite similar. Yeah, quite similar, but actually we do more things about the robotics and AI. Such a robotic, the physically you can just see it, and I will show you it can physically grow. It needs time, so I need to pat it all the time.
Okay. It's not that fast, because so what you want to do is like this. Product, it comes to you when you buy it. It comes to you as a baby, right?
Yeah.
And then the egg has to hatch. It will grow.
It has different stages, right?
Yeah. Now it's in the egg stage, and after that will be the baby stage, teenage stage, and adult stage.
So how long does it take to get from the egg stage to the baby stage?
Actually, it needs maybe up to 2 days.
Okay.
Up to 2 days. Yeah, and it's random. You don't know which when it will hatch up. Yeah, so you need to take care. Yeah, you need to take care of it.
How do you take care of it? Like, how do you level it
just
up?
need to, such as press this button and to try to wake it up, and it will give you feedback.
Oh, you can talk to it.
Yeah, sure, you can talk to it, but not now because
Now it's in the
the speaking abilities you also need to like it's step by step. At first
it needs to develop.
Yeah, you develop
like a baby.
The baby cannot to talk.
So you can
teach it.
teach. Oh,
Yeah, you need
wow,
to teach
you can
it.
Teach its skills.
Yeah, after that, if
Crazy.
you just after that, you know how to speak, but you don't know any knowledge. You need to teach it knowledge.
Yeah.
after
Language
that.
also.
Yeah, sure.
Crazy.
So
Yeah.
what languages does it speak?
Actually, English and Germany and
German.
like that.
Okay.
Japanese,
Oh,
Chinese.
Chinese.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so and then you get it, and then you said that you were building the
Mhm.
Nintendo
Yeah.
of AI, not the
Mhm.
iPhone. So what
iPhone.
does it mean?
Actually, for our company, we want to do a company be a mission with the Nintendo of AI robots area. Why to do this? Because I really like the Nintendo these companies
Mhm.
because they make a lot of the fancy game and it's very very traditional and all the around the world a lot of fans of Nintendo's game. So because when I was young and very little boy and I also be a super fan of the Nintendo's
Nintendo,
game.
yeah.
Such as Pokemon. So I play it from my child.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of experience and good memories about it. So I love this company. And secondly, I think this company is really nice because they pay a lot of the effort and pay a lot of attention, really love into the game and game design. They do a very nice game and make the laugh and make the smile. Bring it to all the people.
Yeah.
I like this. Yeah.
So you will also be able to somehow change the sort of game that this companion will have. Like,
yeah.
oh, okay.
So
cool.
how? If you said it is random, like it takes maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days, maybe 1 day.
Yeah.
So the software behind it is also very important, right?
Yeah, sure. Mhm.
So how is your team? Like, do you have like hardware engineers, software engineers? How many people do you have? What do they do?
Actually, now we have the 15 people in our team, and for hardwares we got the 2, and for the mechanical engineers, for 1, 2, and for the software and pure software engineers, it's up to the 5, like that. And we also get a big design team because we have to do a lot of the game design and the contents design, such as the scream, the emotional, like all the screams contents we need to draw it and then to make the animate.
So you said you focus on emotional AI, right? What kind of emotional perspective or integrations does it have? Like some personality development? How does it work?
For the MBTI personalities, you can shape it. What it means shape it. It means how you treat it and how the pet will be. You cannot to set up the MBTI. So at first, when it just grow up and you need to feed it, bath it, and to play with every day, it have the the cleanness values and have the happiness values and have the hungry values. So you need to take care of these values. If this value is brings too low, too long time, it will very sad and it will to affect the MBTI. It will be maybe more I. But if you just take care of it very well and to talk with a lot, and teach it a lot and play with it a lot, it will be very easy and will share a lot of the memories and happiness to you. It all depends on how you treat it.
What exactly is MBTI? What does
Yeah.
it mean?
MBTI is very famous in China, right?
It's not
Everyone loves it.
but now popular in the.
Probably
it
very
is
few
but
people
more
know what
like-
it actually means, like in the West.
The interesting thing is, it is kind of, it comes from the business world. So from the HR, so they will check the team members. What is the MBTI? so I'm not also not sure what MBTI stands for, but it's like kind of your personality traits. For example, as he said, I and E, it means you're either introvert or extrovert.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like, how are you? Are you a person that really likes to plan things, or are you more like living into the day and see whatever happens? So in China, the difference is it's not a business thing. Like everyone loves it. Everyone is very
I know.
interested.
Everyone just keeps asking me, "What's your MBTI? What's your
So it's,
MBTI?"
it's about
No,
your
it's hatching.
personality.
Oh wow.
Oh,
it's
it's
hatching.
hatching now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
it's random. So
And the more you talk to it, then the more extrovert it gets. And the less you talk it, then it gets introvert.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
yeah,
If you don't talk to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
So the software that is inside also has some psychological traits. Like, how is it trained, or how does the software actually know how to develop some sort of MBTI?
All the MBTIs is developed by AI. Yeah, we use AI technologies to use all the context you are in of the interaction, and we give it AI, and we have the basic rules, but the rules is not very strict or
very strict.
strict.
Yeah.
It's just very strict.
flexible.
So yeah, very flexible.
Oh,
It's all the
okay.
AI will say all the contents, and it depends on how you change a day. Yeah, day by day, if you just change and give you a report. And today, which the values is changed. Yeah, and we tell you and give you a report. Yeah, and you will know every day how the pet's personality will. Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
can I
change.
see the report? Like my
in the
data.
application.
Oh, you
The
have an app also.
Yeah, app. Yeah.
So the app shows you basically like the stage of your companion, like the level or something also, right?
Yeah, sure. You can also see the monies and all the values, and for further the content gameplay, such as the travel, such as go to work. Yeah,
So you can earn money.
Yeah, sure. You can let it go to work, such as to play pianos or something. You can earn money. Yeah, earn money, and you can go to travel. Travel, you spend monies. Yeah, and like this. Yeah.
Oh, and then it also can get robbed, right? You
Yeah,
said.
sure. You can go robbed. Yeah. If you go to some people, somewhere it's not very safe. If
Yeah.
you may get robbed.
Oh, okay. And the most interesting thing about this, you did something that most of the startups do in Shenzhen, in
Yeah.
China, like DJI did it, Anker did it. It's always America first.
Yeah.
So they do the 北美市场, like the North American market first. Why is it that most of the companies do it, and why did you do it?
I think at first I think for the American or the abroad, except China, I think they very respect to the branding and for the innovation. So, but sometimes in China, some companies will just copy your ideas and do a lot of things. So for we go abroad, go to American. There are people who is the original people of these ideas. So they respect it. Yeah. So I think the legals is always more nice to the startups. Conception. So we choose this one. So for our safety and for the branding, and this is the first. And secondly, the truth is for the American people, they get more higher salary than Chinese. So they, we can have the more good price for our company's growth. Yeah, this is more important.
Yeah, that's very interesting to choose America or Western markets first in order to build a brand, to have some sort of moat before you come to China, right?
Yeah,
and then,
it is.
like, I mean, everybody can do it here in China. Most likely spend half a year and then copy it. But you will have the brand, right? This will be the main difference.
I guess it's different to Nintendo, for example, because my guess, I haven't done the research, but my guess is that they did it for the Japanese market first, because in Japanese there are also a lot of people like to play, and when it's successful then they go abroad. But in China now we see the pattern: produce in China and then sell it to North America first. Yeah. And you also went to CS.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So and I saw some videos of you posting it that a lot of people were really interested in this product, right?
Yeah,
How was
sure.
the feedback?
Yeah, it's pretty nice, and it's all over my mind. Yeah, because before I just thought, our product is and a lot of the American, Europe, and Japanese will interest our product. But when we be there, every medium say, breaking news, give me the medium kit immediately. I just what really? That's breaking news. I just thought, oh my god, is everybody is breaking news like this? Yeah. And after that, I just saw they really love our product, and we are a very special one.
Yeah.
So at that time, I just people are really really interested in our product. And before I never said this kind of situation will happen. Yeah. And during the CES, and a lot of the people go to our booth and to experience the product and know more. And a lot of people just come here and to Kai by now. So I just thought, nice. And people just so say, yeah, just say, oh, it's so cute. Yes, it's very
super
cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the Americans and European, Japanese like our outfit and all the gameplay, and they are interested in our product, and we will sell it in the future. And it's a pretty good signal for our team. Yeah.
So can they buy it now?
Actually, no, because we will do the pre-launch recently, but for the Kickstarter launch will be the May like that.
Yeah.
We'll prepare for
okay.
that.
Yeah.
So how much will it be on Kickstarter?
Actually, it will be the between the 100 to the 150 for a product. Yeah, but if I also have the
US
more
dollars.
US dollars, but it also have more the case and some such as outfit or another things you need to pay.
So you have
extra. Yeah.
This one is like yellowish.
Yeah.
Color. You have different colors as well.
Yeah, blue, purple.
Oh, okay. 3 colors.
And I feel it's growing now.
Yeah, it's growing. Yeah.
How big can it grow?
Just actually, it's just a one what meters like that? What 1 厘米?
Centimeters.
1
centimeter. Yeah,
Okay.
centimeters one.
Yeah. So then you said, because you're getting investments also, and investors are always interested in the future.
Yeah.
What will you do in the future? Because now you have a product, it's okay, you validate that you have the ability to do it, but what will you do in the future? Because investors always want to see like more products, more money, more turnover.
It is.
So what is your plan for the future?
It will come back to the core of our companies. Our core is gamification, AI, and robotics. And for the future, all the products will just will be the combination and the further step of these 3 steps. Such as now, it's a AI Tamagotchi. Why? It's a game. The game for the gamification is a pad reading game, right? But it's not very difficult and very hard. Yeah. And for the AI, we just use AI to give MBTI the memories and give a lot of things to make the game is more interesting and make the robotics more intelligence. For the robotics, we just make it a physical body, and it has one motors and another such as it have the microwave radar, like this. So it's very simple as a start point, and in the future we will just do more further of these three points. For the gamification, we will do a lot of and the more contents and the more deep gameplay of this product. And for the AI, and the AI will be the more important things to enhance the gamification and the robotics. For the robotics, we will give more, such as give a like, or it will grow up maybe you bigger, or grow up like, or maybe in the future the air can grow up like this.
Okay,
it's very interesting.
Cool.
That would be really interesting if it now it just goes up, but in the future maybe it can grow bigger and
give a like, or just arm. Okay.
So you're also collecting the user data, what they like, how they interact with this.
You can just use voice to interact it, and further, and what's more, and you can hear, and you can press this button, and if you have the menus, you can see the menus here.
Oh, okay.
And for the menus, you can just choose the things you can see here, and just press it, and you can use the things, and it will watch right now. Yeah, you can have the menus. Yeah.
Can you also see in the future if like a lot of people use it, how long they use it, how long they talk to it,
how they
long
interact with it.
Can you see the data on your back end?
Actually, we didn't sell it till now, so we don't have any
I mean
data.
in the future.
In the future, we will, but also will be the privacy safety way to check this data because we need to improve the product's user experience.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Oh, and one question I had, like you said that you can bath it. Can you actually put it into water?
No. I just say here is a bus. Yeah, I can just
mode.
choose. Yeah, now it's a bus. Yeah,
And it would also probably tell you, hey, I probably need to get a bath, right?
Yeah. He will tell you. Yeah, actively. Yeah.
Okay.
So what is your goal on Kickstarter? How much money do you want to raise?
This is not a word that I can speak to now because I think it's better to be between the 100,000 to the
50 to 100,000.
To the 1 million like that. Because our product is not expensive, so you need to get a lot of backers to your product. Yeah. So
how much would it be? I probably missed it.
The cost.
Yeah,
the price,
how much? Yeah.
The price will be the $100 to the $150 for the product.
Yeah, I mean it's easier to get to this number if your product is $900 or $1,000 and
it is because you maybe just have the 1,000 backers, it will be the 1 million.
But I mean, like, it's breaking news, obviously, right?
Everyone
is very excited about it. Yeah,
sure.
So if you have other student founders who listen to us, what is one advice you tell them if you do a startup like me? This is the one advice I would give you.
I think sometimes if you want to have a startup, so don't give up. Yeah, no matter what happens, if you want to get a startup, just keep going. If you must have some of the fails, in this way, but don't give up and don't drop it because I think all the tries is important for your next, the truly success. So I think it's important don't give up. And furthermore, I think sometimes you keep going. It's not about you say something. It's about you believe you will do. You will do it. So that will be most important. If you just trust you will do it and you will really do it. Yeah. So it's not about the say something. Sometimes you cannot say anything because such as for our first product, you cannot say no product. The second product, but you trust you will do it. So just keep going and we will make it to be the truth. Yeah.
Even though the decision sometimes is very hard, right? You spend so much time, and you wanted to be a success, but in the end, you have to listen to the users also. If there's no one who wants to buy it, then just keep going, just do building, and then
you will be right in the future.
Awesome.
Irving, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Irving.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. 谢谢.
Yeah, this was great, and we're very sure that all the products that come in the future will be very successful.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.